Hello everyone, Dan Hur with Dan Hur Prospecting here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. I hope to earn your subscription today. I am back at doing my evaluations of production pans. The pans that are meant to just ram through material real fast, especially for those people that don't have access to a sluice box. Today I will be doing the flat pan, or known as the speed pan, because this is what they use in speed competitions for recovering gold really fast. I will be evaluating all of these pans. I've done a bunch already. Today it is the flat pan. Let's get right to it. Hope you enjoy. Now you may notice I have moved locations. I am no longer on the Fraser River, and that's because in order to evaluate some of these bigger pans, I wasn't able to do it in that small tub I had at the Fraser. I had to find a tub that I could pan in so I can recover my losses to test them that was big enough to use these big pans. Luckily, back here at my property, I have a great big tub right at my tailings pond, and I can stand right in this. I've rigged it up with a sheet that's laid down underwater in here. So as I'm panning, all of my tailings will get caught on the sheet. I'll be able to grab the sheet, pull it out, and recover my tailings to see what it is I lost when I was panning with the big flat pan. I will be using the exact same material. I bucketed it up from the Fraser. I brought it back. It is the exact same amount, exact same material as I used in all the other pans with the exact same gold in it. So hopefully an even playing field for all the pans. Now, one thing I should note, and I haven't noted enough in my other videos, is that this material is some of the hardest gold I know to recover. It is extremely flat. It's in extremely heavy gravels with lots of black sand, magnetite, rocks of magnetite even. It is some of the most difficult gold around to recover. And I'm using that on purpose because easy gold, every pan would do well on. If I put nothing but nuggets in here, every pan would catch every one of them. I wanted a material that is going to be difficult so it actually shows losses. And I have had some significant losses because some of the pans aren't working so well, and also because this material is so hard to recover the gold from. I did that on purpose. Now, before I start panning, let's have a look at this thing. This is known as a flat pan because, well, it is very flat. Not got big edges on it like a typical pan. The idea here is that you mound your gravel on it, you shake it, and the gravel just falls off the edge, but these riffles catch the gold that sinks through the gravel, catch the gold before they fall off the edge. Very well constructed. It's milled out of a solid piece of, I'm guessing it's a PVC plastic. I'm guessing. It's milled out of a solid piece of plastic and extremely sturdy, well made, and strong. And you can see here, it is the Superchamp, that's the name of it. It's made over in Europe, and the maker actually signs and numbers every pan individually. I have to say they're not cheap, unfortunately. I can't remember the price right now. I'll leave it right there. Now, one other thing, my material has been classified down to 1/4 inch, and that is because if I don't classify it down first, I would be running 5 to 10 times as much material, which would be 5 to 10 times as much time, kind of. It's a bit slower to run classified material in any pan. However, you get to run a huge amount more if it's classified first. I prefer always classifying first, even though most of these pans say you don't need to. If you don't, you're moving so much more material and actually have more weight overall because you have to put all those big rocks in your pans and deal with them. I know some pans will work better with unclassified material because the big rocks move things around more, but in the end, you're processing a much smaller amount of the pay gravel. So I'm using 1/4 inch minus material in all of these tests. The flat pan says you don't need to. So I have my stopwatch ready to go. I'm standing in my water because this needs a big area sort of at knee height of water for you to work That is a bit of a downfall of this pan. So I'm standing right in the water so I can work here. I've got my gravel right in front of me. I've got a shovel here. Forgot my little shovel, so I got a big one. And I'm all ready to go. I'm about to start. Remember, I am a complete novice. I've only used this pan once before. So I'm complete novice with this pan. Wish me luck. Here we go. It's started. Now the trick with this pan, you get into the water and you go back to back, front to forward, side to side, round in circles. Get the material stratified. Underwater. It falls down into those grooves, and as you go back to back, it moves, and forward and back, it goes into the center. Big circles to wash off the material. Side to side, forward and back. Big circles, wash off that material. And let's reload it again. As with all production pans, it should be able to do more than one pan at a time before you clean it out. I'm going to lose the bucket here. And it can take a lot of material. Okay. Underwater, start the stratification, back to back, forward. Okay, and keep going. Huh. Okay, let's see what we can do here. I got some clay type stuff from the bottom. Break it up. Break up the clay type stuff. Side to side, back and forth, in circles. And the remainder of the bucket. Let's see what we got. Again, break this up. I don't know how much time I've been. Most of the other pans have been around the 5-minute mark. And as with most pans, I stop at about that level right there to see what it's got. Let me stop the timer. Stop. 3.5 minutes with the flat pan to go through that bucket. Now, I don't know if I did it quite right. I'm hoping there's gold in there. I will transfer this into a Garrett Super Sluice to actually evaluate how much gold is in there. I know you can take this down to a lot less than this really quickly on this pan. You can actually go and, well, you can go and wash it all off to see what you've got. But I want to do that in the pan that I've been doing it in for all the other evaluations, just to keep things sort of even. But just washing back the sand a bit, you can see there's gold all through it. Now here's one thing I'm sort of unfamiliar with this pan that's going to cause a bit of problem, is I'm not sure how you're really supposed to wash this pan out. So I'm trying what I think is right. The problem with this is I see gold in these riffles right now. Oh no, I'm washing them out. Okay, that washes out pretty easy. There we go, all washed out into the Garrett Super Sluice. Now, I'm not going to pan the Garrett Super Sluice over top the tailings because I don't want to evaluate the losses of this pan in this episode. So I'm going to move that aside so I'm not actually panning onto the tailings. And let's see what we got. I'll skip forward to the end here. Okay, this is a little bit insane. There's actually more gold here than I've seen in any of the other pans yet. Even my trusty Super Sluice didn't catch that much. I'll take a good shot of this, but really what we want to know is what it lost. What's in there? So let's dig down in there and see. Okay, managed to pull it all out. I'm going to pan through this extremely slowly with my Garrett Super Sluice, which I'm very confident when I pan slowly, I get very high recovery rates. Very, very high. So I'm going to take a half hour to go through all this. I'll see you in 30 minutes. Well, all I have to say is, wow. It actually lost one of the bigger pieces of this whole series, but there are maybe 13, 15 pieces in there. That's the best recovery rate I've seen yet from any of the pans, and it was way faster. I'm not making any conclusions until the last video of this series where I put out all the data and all the conclusions, but this speaks for itself. Wow. So I will go through and count carefully so I can put it on the screen here for you guys, but that's about 140 pieces of gold in what it captured and about 15 in what it lost. That's a pretty good capture rate. That's around 90%. So there is the best capture rate so far of the pans, of the production pans. Now again, the same disclaimer I've said so many times over here. This is extremely hard gold to find, and I'm 100% novice with this pan. I have used it once before this series, so I really don't know what I'm doing. I have no muscle memory of how to use it. I have no trial and error of what's gone wrong, what's gone right, but for the first time using it, that was pretty good. So looking at an overview, it's an expensive pan. It is a little awkward to use in that it takes a certain situation where you can actually use this pan. It was the fastest so far at 3 minutes and 30 seconds to a half bucket of quarter minus material, classified to quarter minus. It says you don't need to classify for this pan. And its capture rate is close to 90%. It's that. Before I sign off, let's go look at my river. Here's my river in full flood. It would be dangerous to be down there right now. Get washed away. I hope you all enjoyed my evaluation of the flat pan. Next will be the Batea, or as he calls it, the right pan. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me that thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video if you can. And if you haven't subscribed already and you like what you saw, I have hundreds of more videos on YouTube and I'll be making hundreds more in the future. Consider subscribing so you never miss an episode. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are awesome. And until the next one, everyone. Bye.